Yeah, a lot of cool stuff out there.
Which ones are you looking at?
So I started doing N8 and then I got into vector shift, and basically like I'm looking for marketing and outreach purposes right now. I'm still pretty like that. My capabilities are pretty basic, but it's just
Well, perfect timing because I brought my little whiz kid Tobias on the call today.
Hey Tobias.
Hey.
So
Yeah,
Tobias,
we do a fair
show,
amount in N8N.
yeah, show them what we're doing with the N8N right now.
I'll just show the kind of latest sequence we did.
Hold on. Wait 1 second. Let me record this real quick. 1 second.
Yeah, so what we're doing right now is just getting the entire business to be able to be managed by an agent, right? And it just has access to like 10 different sub agents. I'm just going to show one of the sub agents here. I'm trying to kind of, not overshare. But here, so let me screen share.
Yeah, don't share all our secrets.
Yeah. Right, so like this. Yeah. So this is a sub agent that we have right now. So there's not an AI agent, but this is a sub workflow that is executed by our main agent that gives us access to our entire SOP database. So I have almost my entire business outlined in SOPs, right, with documentation on effectively everything, with like a whole bunch of documentation on just like manufacturing, distribution, like all the different subparts of the company. And the issue that we were facing when we created this campaign, this agent, was that it didn't have access to our backend. So it would be able to kind of use like the general knowledge, right? Would be able to write out. So for example, in our ClickUp, our project management software, it would be able to automatically set up a task and do the entire project management for us, but it wouldn't really have that personal touch on how to, based on our specific company, right? So some of the internal tools that we use, Go Login, for example, that we use to manage some of our clients' accounts, right? It didn't really understand what those aspects were, and we were then able to kind of teach it how to access our database, select the proper records, and then give the main agent enough information to kind of answer the prompt correctly. So what we do, for example, is we can question something like on our I'm just going to give an example question here. So this is, I run right now from Telegram if I just wanted to prompt this flow, but I can also have the main agent prompted, right? And I can ask a question about our company, and it's able to use company-specific information, right? Like, for example, our affiliate link for Dripify or whatever. It has all the backend information. So just like a generic one. What is what is Dripify and how do we use it? And it will then run in here, and we're able to get like 10 seconds if it wants to. Okay, perfect example of let's see, undefined. But it's able to access all our, maybe not a great demo, but it's able to access all our backend fairly effectively.
And then how will this help some people, the agents, when they want to set up BD campaigns?
Right. So for example, when we run LinkedIn outreach, for example, right, and you have a specific prospect prospect that you want to market, right? You're able to effectively build out a sales navigator or recruiter search just based on previous campaigns you've created. So if you've already created, 20 sales navigator lists that you've seen work, or 10, you're able to feed that data to the agent. And now when you have a generic, campaign you want to run, you can just type in the information you have, right, about the person or whatever. It'll automatically create a high performing campaign for you. So it'll already give you just have to then enter in the URL into your given automation software. It can save hours and just set up time for campaigns, right? So when we build out, I do a lot of automation campaigns on LinkedIn, and I've found a way where all the sequences for the automation, right, we're able to build out the lead lists in 45 seconds, a minute, where it's based on all the data we already have. So we have, hundreds of campaigns already in the backlog, and we have the reply rates, so like 22%, 32, 45, right? Already documented with the actual sales navigator search or recruiter search we've done, and it's able to then take that data, extrapolate that into something that we can then use, right?
So it's N8N that's taking your campaign effectiveness and feeding it back to create new campaigns.
So we use Airtable to store all the data. We use N8N for like the automation side, right? Theoretically, N8N is just a given tool. You could also use Zapier, Make, whatever. There are hundreds of options, right? N8N is the one that I really like currently, just based on my experience with it. Very user friendly.
Have you guys moved away from like using Clay? Because I just use Clay.
Oh, Clay is like 1.5 years, but that's 1.5 years ago I used that. It's like, so my first experience with that was about 2 years, 1 month, 1 year and 9 months ago, and we set up email marketing campaigns with that, right? And they worked really well back then when hyper personalization was the key. Right now, you're moving more towards hyper segmentation. So instead of when you're reaching out to someone, instead of saying, I see that you're working at this place, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, right? Looking on their profile and scraping information about them. Instead, what we're doing is saying, we work with this role in this type of company, right? So we're just targeting CEOs in TMS or whatever type of company you're reaching out to, and we're just saying, hey, we work with their role. So we work with project managers, we work with CEOs in logistics companies or whatever, your ICPs. And that's a lot more effective. Where Play is more like, hey, I saw you were a fractional CFO or whatever at this company. We really want to work with you, right? It's fundamentally different. And this is kind of what we've seen over time is we're moving away from personalization to segmentation for our lead list and our copywriting. That's kind of what we see work. You can definitely still do personalization, but it's not like maybe filtered by city. So when you're doing a sourcing campaign, so just saying that we're hiring for this role and just having the city be personal to them, and then have the rest of the copy be segmented based on the lead list. That would be the only real. Well, that's an example of where we're doing it right now for a headhunter.
Yeah, there's so many other examples too. That are you using it, Max?
Yeah, I'm using it just for business development, not for like the recruitment side. But it's relatively effective. We're just I'm asking it to go pull in we're just doing like chasing job leads. So it's automatically pulling in the job leads, identifying the folks, and then it's asking the agent to create a fake candidate profile, which like we're likely to have profiles that are very similar to that, and it's creating like kind of like an NPC with that candidate profile and pitching it to those 5 people within the company, and it's relatively effective.
Mhm.
Do you when you're talking with your clients, do you create an ICP with them for each role?
What's an ICP? Sorry.
Ideal
Ideal
customer profile.
candidate profile.
When no, not necessarily. We're
So
just pitching ICPs to potential clients, like when we're doing the marketing, the outbound marketing.
okay, so more of like MPC, most placeable
It's
candidate.
just NPCs.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't do too much. I'd be curious to hear what the story is with ICPs, because I've never really
Well,
leveraged
yeah,
it.
I'll share one with you guys. So this is pull it up.
One thing I saw while you're looking that up, that somebody reached out to me. I think it was from like a SaaS company, but it was basically like 6 or 8 months ago. We did a product demo and transcribed it, and I think they had an AI agent like look into the transcription and say like, hey, what did you say were the pain? What did this person say were the pain points? And then months later, they reached out on LinkedIn to other people in my company and said like, hey, like we did a video call with Max like 6 months ago. He said you guys had these pain points. You know, are you still
Wow.
dealing with it? And I got a lot of people in my company being like, what the fuck is this? But
This is so this is one of my global clients, right? They're one of the biggest logistics companies in the world. Now, this is what we do for an ICP. For this specific role, here's what we're looking for. Like, this is not stuff you're going to put on a job description, you know, but like, this is money motivated confidence.
This is from your intake call, just getting everything that they want, right?
And
yeah,
then build it out with them. Okay, does this make sense on both sides? Is this exactly what we're looking for? So we're not wasting time recruiting.
yeah.
Like, this is okay. This is what you told me. Here, it's all recorded. Here's what we need. Here's what you get.
So you send that back to the client after the intake?
Yeah, actually, he already had this one built out, and then we just adjusted it based on like, okay, what am I seeing? Like right now, these are top priority: Detroit, Cincy, Columbus. But I got to fill all of these roles: Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Kansas City, Indy, Indianapolis. So if anybody knows any freight forwarding salespeople, send them my way. Cut you in.
Yeah, I've never had to formalize those conversations just around like the soft skills, but that might be a good idea.
Yeah, just so you're not wasting time, right? Because then I want to go, and then you got to ask them like, okay, what was your feedback on this person? Then it's like you're still, do you know what you're actually looking for? Or are you just guessing? You know, because let's just say an enterprise account executive could be great for this company over here, for company A, but for company B, no, they want up and coming talent, right? What does that mean? Well, I know what that means, but they're not going to ever put that in a job description. They can't. They get sued. But just any soft skills that they're looking for, anything like that. I just put in the chat. See if you guys can open that perplexity. Let you open it.
This is something you created in Perplexity?
Yeah. Does it let you guys see it or no?
Yeah.
It's your page, and I'm scrolling down, yeah.
72% of recruiting agencies are facing a decline in client acquisition since 2023. So basically, what does that mean? You got to go out there and pound pavement even more, like networking events. Like, for example, last night I sponsored a hockey game, championship high school hockey game. Eisenhower versus Romeo, two local schools here in the community. But then I started meeting parents, and two of the people I actually placed in software sales roles. And then I started meeting parents and talking to them, like, oh, what do you do? I'm a recruiter. Okay, yeah. Oh, you're the one that sponsored it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you need help? A lot of business owners. These are two Sanos, Eisenhower and Romeo, two schools where parents have money.
Yep.
So they're typically all business owners, and these are like all my friends grew up at these schools, so it was good just to be there and just network and connect. And I got suckered into buying all the pizza and all that, but it was worth it. For me, it's like in content, right? It's what it is.
Wouldn't you say that like being the national, like you have to be local again? I feel in this market,
No,
like it's
because
weird to, unless you're
I'm national.
specialized.
Yeah, I'm that. Like most of my roles are remote, anyway. So yeah, as I was talking to actually Rich Rosen might pop on here in a second. I think a lot of you guys know who Rich is?
I know the name. Is he the $1 million biller?
A multi-million-dollar biller for multiple 30+ years. Absolute killer. Him and I are the worst EDD together on the phone. Him and I, we can't talk on a call because he's talking, I'm talking. We just, but he's a great guy, and hopefully he'll jump on. He's like, I got a call, and then I'll try to jump on. But Forbes top, just a one person show. Never added to his team. Doesn't need to. Which is just something that I would love for you guys to hear, like his business development, what he does. I mean, that guy picks up the phone nonstop still to this day. And then he's picking up his laptop at 10 p.m. at night. All the stuff that I did from day one. It's just what you have to do right now, especially to stand out in this market. I mean, it is competitive. Like, I have one of my clients tell me that I think she said like 15 recruiters. Oh, here's another thing real quick before I say that. If anyone has a really good recruiter in sales that's out in the UK, I need somebody to go on a 6-month contract. But anyways, she said 15 recruiting firms have reached out to her this week alone. So we're complaining about RPOs. That's them on the other side. So how do you stand out and cut through all that noise?
Hey Dom, hit me up on that UK thing. Just text me later.
If they know supply chain tech,
I don't know.
and
My sister owns a recruiting agency with like 15 women that work for her, so I'm sure someone in there can help you network it.
perfect. But we'll go down the list. Well, Andy, start with you. What's going on with your BD? How's it going? What are you doing that's working?
Dude, networking, man. I went to 2 events this week, 2 meetings for next week, just based off of shaking hands, kissing babies. It's the best way, especially in my area of expertise, doing director and above. It's honestly how I'm finding most of my my BD right now.
And tell everyone what space you're in.
So I do executive recruiting, director and above. The 2 industries I work or support mostly are complete, absolute polar opposites. It's aviation is about 60% of my business, and 40% of it is food and beverage.
Awesome. What about you, Max?
So I do all line level contingent accounting and finance in the Chicago area. A lot of stuff is financial services, but it's anything between 50 and 250K on the base. But in terms of what has been working, I think back to what Andy says. Well, I have been I finally gotten things rolling with the clay automations, and I've picked up just in the past week 3 jobs with it. So
Nice.
that's been working, but I think what I've really been kind of focusing on is what Andy said, going to the events and actually hitting up to meet in person a lot of the old placements, a lot of old clients, a lot of people that I haven't placed. And then something that I've been doing that's effective is that when I get a really good candidate and I don't place them, I take them out to lunch. It's shocking how often they're like, yeah, it's like, hey, once you get settled in, let's grab lunch. I want to celebrate with you, hear about how the job's going. and they're always down for it. And I've picked up jobs through that in the past couple months. So I think that's been effective. That's
Oh,
I think it's been
that's
really
huge.
working for me, because like I wouldn't normally, like, people that you're not placing, like I wouldn't normally think to like take them out to lunch, but they've been game for it. So it's been effective.
So you did mostly financial services then?
It's about 50-50 financial services and like the broader industry.
Awesome. We'll go to Buck.
Actually had a specific question because yeah, talking about the in-person stuff, that's what I wanted to start focusing on since I just moved to Austin a month ago. I want to start trying to do business development face to face. And I was thinking about, like, just going to offices and dropping stuff off, and wanted to see who's done that and like what kind of stuff you bring, like what you say when you walk up. Do you try to get in touch with them beforehand or just show up blind? If anybody's got
Buck,
suggestions.
you're in legal, right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, I got a perfect example for you. I actually thought about you while I was at the lunch here 2 weeks ago. Detroit Athletic Club here in Michigan. They probably have something like that by you, right? It's not a golf course, not a country club. It's all attorneys, wealth management advisors. This is the spot where if you're going to put any money into joining a club, go to something like this. Like the one here, I think it's like, Sam, what is it, 10K downstroke before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 10K. Then you got to have a monthly, kind of like a golf course, monthly spend. But I mean, for you, if you place one attorney out, that your fees are covered, right? But you don't go into those places. I'll tell you, don't ever do this. Don't walk into those places asking for business. Start building relationships, and then they'll say, "Oh, what do you do, Buck?" Well, actually, I actually place lawyers, attorneys like you. Oh, you know what? We need help.
Hmm.
That's the best way. If you just
So-
start pitching right away,
Yeah, of course.
You gotta show value first.
yeah.
Buck,
What about you, Sam?
hey, if I give
Oh,
Buck a
sorry.
bit of advice quick.
Yeah.
I got invited to a networking event here, Buck, called in Denver specifically. I think each United Way, if they support a specific city, have different networking societies. There were two that I got invited to. There was one called Catalyst, where you pay like $1,000, and it's like you do some like networking, and then you also give back to the community. So like they're using me to help young business owners or young students leaving school like rebuild their resumes. The second event I went to was called Torqueville, and that was where you donate $10,000 and the level of networking jumps up. But 90% of the people in the room were attorneys, all own their own law firms or they were partners. And it's kind of a like, hey, we're giving back to the community in a like philanthropic way, but there's also networking. So for example, just before Christmas, it was, hey, we're gonna do an event where everyone's gonna wrap Christmas presents for families in need. And while you're doing that, we're gonna bring in this Olympian to give a speech about teamwork and all this stuff. So I would check out the United Way and whatever local chapters they have. Because I have a feeling that it was weird how many lawyers were in this specific group.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, specifically for right now, just on a weekly basis, I was just thinking about going and dropping, like, I don't know, donuts or coffee or something off at a firm and just be like, and introducing myself.
Yeah, I've done that in the past.
But
for pharmaceutical reps.
if you have a line in and you can, all these people, you could, put together a golf outing and just kind of pitch it as like, hey, this is an opportunity for, law firm owners to network. And I'm a facilitator here. Done that a couple times in the past and have definitely picked up jobs from that.
I probably got to hit the driving range a couple of times before. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Oh, but that's a great, Max. That's exactly what I did. I'm on the board of the Council of Supply Chain Management, and guess who runs the event? Me. They're like, who wants to run it? I go, me, because everybody's got to come through me. They got to sign up through me, and guess what? I get to call these companies for donations, this, that. But it's the best thing you can do. That's the warm intros. There's nothing better. And you start planting seeds. You're not gonna always see return right away. And I'm starting to plant seeds as stuff starts coming. And then, but keep it up on the video. Like I'll tell you, even as Tobias, like when I was in Vegas for that big supply chain show, he was there. He came. Like people like think you're a celebrity when you're walking down the halls because they see,
I got
oh my
stopped
God, you're on
twice.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, and I have like 3,000 followers. Like I've been at it for half a year, and I've got stopped twice, right? So like, and I was halfway across the globe. So kind of leverage networking is kind of what I've realized is, especially if it's people that normally would kind of not really talk to you, showing up in the same space that they are. I personally find to work really well. I mean, I flew out to Vegas to meet Dom, so. Yeah.
He did, and he brought me my favorite cologne.
I'm curious about the videos. If you guys could speak to that more, because what I'm curious about is, has it led to like job orders?
Oh, 100%. 100%. People will literally come and they'll be like, here's the crazy part. You're not going to notice it right away. Like, here's how Donnie Gupton explained it to
I
me.
don't feel
Renee,
as
you're really,
photogenic as you either, so that might be.
well, who cares? I don't even edit them. Look at the last one I just posted with the VP of Americas at DSV. This is my Fathom note taker on there, no
Oh,
edits,
really?
nothing. Yeah, they're a global company. I don't even edit them. I don't care. You know what? People will want authentic, genuine people.
Yeah.
You know, at least in my space. You know.
So can I ask you a question on the video? Because I'm kind of in the same boat as Max. Like my coach just told me to make them, and Dom, I saw you watch mine yesterday, and he's like, you got to do everything through your personal account, leave your business account for like job postings, like content there. But like the one question I had is, and he was like, yeah, hashtags are gone now, but are you sharing them on all platforms, like no matter what, going LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, I'll try when I go on a CapCut, but most of the time I'm just on LinkedIn. But you know what a lot of stuff I've been reading, I got to get heavier on X. Just
Yeah,
what I've been seeing.
because my coach was telling me something like you got to go on every platform, because he's like, LinkedIn is just so saturated, right, with recruiters and whatnot.
Yeah, well, it just depends where do your people hang out all day? Mine are on LinkedIn. So for me, it's like I know another guy in e-commerce. Instagram's his bread and butter. So he's on Instagram all day.
Yeah, I just started an Instagram account, Recruiter Buck Foley, that I'm just gonna try it, see what happens. I mean, I just take the LinkedIn videos and use the same copy, add a couple more hashtags. That I don't think hashtags are completely dead on Instagram yet.
Right.
I mean, I've been putting them on LinkedIn too, but I think I'm gonna stop. I don't know. I'm just gonna see how that goes. I'll keep you guys posted.
The one thing I found, I'm trying to find like a software that uploads everything for me.
CapCut.
And what's that?
CapCut.
CapCut.
Oh, CapCut
CAP.
automatically posts across
All of them
platforms.
at once. Yeah. CAPCUT.
Got it.
There's like I think there's also tools that'll like sequence your posts to time them out.
Yeah, REAP.video. You can use Opus Clip or Opus
Not
Pro.
me. You know, mom, man.
Oh yeah.
A video recently, I don't know, LinkedIn posted it. It was from their official account talking about how, I don't know if this is legit, but posting a video directly to the platform rather than having a third party software do it will get more traction. If you have like,
yeah.
So
I was watching
engaging after, right? So what you want to do is 15 minutes before posting, you want to engage, write meaningful comments, then post, and then 15 minutes after, you want to go in and comment, and then you want to spend 15 minutes. This is the optimal way, by the way, not what you necessarily should do. You can hire some Indian guy to do it, but and then spend 15 minutes going onto profiles and endorsing them, and like viewing profiles, endorsing, that kind of thing, for optimal reach.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I don't do anything. I just post and like walk away, which I probably should.
The best is if you can get a bunch of comments in there. That's when it starts going. Like Daniel Miller, I don't know if you guys know him. He's a recruiter he owns a ATS company. But I got his post going yesterday. It has like 30 likes, but 75 comments. And then that just keeps popping up on everyone's LinkedIn feed. Boom, boom, boom. Sam, how about you? I know we're going to be chatting here. Him and I are going to be talking about heading on a automotive recruiting division for dealerships, sales.
Yeah, right now I do vehicle service contracts. I own a company called Car Protection Plus, and I have a ton of dealers, specifically Michigan and Ohio, signed up to use our products. If you go buy a car and you get suckered into buy the extended warranties at some of these stores, some of them in Michigan are mine. I network a ton. I go to I went to the Grand Rapids Auto Show charity event. I went to the Detroit Auto Show charity event, and that's kind of how I get people who aren't using our products to use our products. We're only for like high mileage used cars, but then we switched and wanted to go to a lot of franchise stores because I'm a franchise store guy. Domenic knows that, and we have a lot of connections to that industry. So I think not necessarily a career pivot, just a career addition. And I've always obviously been a fan of Domenic and support him because he's a family. But I think him and I will make a pretty solid team in that automotive retail space, where there's technicians, parts managers, service managers, sales reps, high-level employees, executive managers. I think him and I can dominate that space together. So I'm looking forward to making that pivot here.
Love it. Well, we got the beast, Rich Rosen. Are you on mute, Rich?
What's going on?
There he is. There's
What's
the big
happening?
dog. There's the Forbes. Forbes top 50. Tell them all your fucking accolades here.
I got a couple. I got a couple of them. Yeah, man, I've been doing this for 30 years and 1,200 placements. Forbes top 50 the last 5 years as a solo recruiter, and also I'm placing our software sales reps and execs for the startup world. So wanted to come and help my buddy Dom out here and see what was going on. So,
No, and Rich, you're a killer, absolute killer. Tell what's been working for you for BD after all these years. Has anything changed? Are you still doing the same thing? What works for you?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, nothing really changes. It's all the same. As you guys have all been saying, networking referrals are obviously going to always and forever be number one. But you can't get to every show, and whether it's the expense or the time, you just can't do it. So I mean, you got to hop on the phones. I don't care what anyone tells you. The phones are still the king, but you got to use all the tools. You got to do your email campaigns. You got to do your LinkedIn posts. Wherever your LinkedIn's always the place to go because everyone's on there. But if your industry hangs out on X or Instagram, you do your thing. You put it where you got to put it. But the end of the day is, phones. You can automate all that stuff. There's no reason to be wasting your day writing emails and posting it during the day. All that stuff can be automated at night. During the day, you should just be banging on the phones because emails don't half your emails don't get seen. Another probably quarter end up in some other random box that gets seen a month or two later. So phones, you're going to get them or you're not. But
Rich, can I ask you about your phone, like kind of how you're setting things up? Because I'm curious, what percentage of that is calling like old clients that you haven't worked with in a while, or like old candidates, or like cold calling? Like,
yeah, I try to break it up, and it's a tough balance to be real honest with you, because after 30 years, you just talk to so many people. Like I've got a huge list of past clients, guys. I mean, I build a list of, I have a great conversation with the VP of sales, even during while they're hunting themselves for a new job. I put them in a special list that I know I built some rapport with this guy. So when he does land, I can call him and talk to him about whatever silly thing we talked about on the call, because it's not just a business call. You build a real rapport.
So calling those people that made recent moves that you just had a good rapport with, that's good. and then like you don't have a regular cadence or reprioritization like that you like keep standard. It's just like you're identifying.
Yeah,
Like if you're scrolling LinkedIn, you're like, oh man, I gotta call him.
yeah.
'Cause that's how I do it, and I feel like I'm not very
It's tough. Like
structured with it.
yeah, dude. If you're a solo, it's a hard balance. There's no doubt. I mean, because you never really want to take your foot off the gas from jobs unless you got 15 A-level searches that you always want to be doing something, even if it's just a single beat call a day. You want to be doing it, but you want to be assuming you don't have those jobs, which in most markets right now most people don't. You want to have a list of who you're going to go after. You're going to send them an email. You're going to go on LinkedIn or whatever source you have, industry like magazines or whatever your company, whatever your industry's conference is, where you can pull up who's speaking, or you can see what recent moves were made in that industry. That's what you want to target. You go after those people. Just, hey, I saw you just made a move, or hey, I just read this article about your company. Listen, I didn't know if you guys are hiring right now, but listen, I have a couple folks you may have an interest in, or just, hey, listen, I'm having this issue in this space. I don't know if it's something you're running into, whatever. Make a super easy cold call. And so you set, I like to have 50 calls a day set up that I'm going to bang out. And, some days you get to all 50, some days you don't.
Yeah.
Those who want to make $1 million, get to them.
Rich, tell them about that, right? Because when we had that call the other day, I was just laughing because I love learning from guys like Rich. Just absolutely, he's not going to brag, but I mean, 7-figure biller, what, 30 years in a row, probably.
I wish it was 30, but it's a lot.
Yeah, but okay, but even when you're talking about you're on your laptop at night while you're talking to your wife, and your wife is watching her show,
Yeah,
he just doesn't stop. But that's what it takes.
I mean, that's like everyone knows, no matter whether you're playing a sport or business. In this game, this business is just a sport, man. This is all this game is. It's a total contact sport, and as the saying goes, you got to do what others don't want to do if you want to be successful. I mean, there's a lot easier jobs to do than this to make like $100,000, in my opinion. So if you want to go someplace, if you want to make life-changing amounts of money, this is one of the best jobs ever. But you got to put your time and energy in and build those rapports. Like Dom goes like the king of going to these shows, and that's one thing. Honestly, I'm trying to get better at this year, just because I'm pretty broad in software, so it's a bit of a challenge. And then when you're solo, it's a challenge. But this year I'm kind of committed to making time to do it, because I think with emails not really hitting like they used to, especially for BD. Everyone's posting, which you got to do. You're gonna make your phone calls, which you're gonna make 100 calls. You may not get 10 people, quite frankly, but
Right.
the more calls you make, the more you're gonna get. So listen, I think cold calling, and with that said, I think cold calling and shows are where it's at. And then leverage.
Follow up with your old placements too.
Absolutely. Well, and it's not only your old placements. It's the guy that came in second, as I think
Yeah.
said. It's you come in and talking to the people you built rapport with, and because you're only placing one of them at that job most likely. So if you can get, the other guys are going to land someplace. If you're placing a VP of sales or a CEO or CRO, you got 3 or 4 of those guys going out. Well, those are 3 other leads for you. As long as you did right by them, they understand it's not your fault they didn't get the job, but they now know you're a good recruiter who understands how to actually source the right kind of talent and build the right type of, find the right type of people and put right people in front of the right opportunities. So I think a lot of gold in those.
You feel like a lot of that rapport is built in prep and debrief calls, not just like.
Yeah, I think it's from the moment you talk to them. Like I'm a big proponent. Like I run a training group for recruiters. People are interested Thursday mornings too.
Yeah, tell them about that too.
Yeah, I mean, I run that with Trish Tamkin. So I don't know if you guys know Trish or not. She's More is Essential. So we do a Thursday morning kind of Q&A group where you get Trish and I kind of going back and forth and just questions, whatever people want to talk about and just different topics. But you get, my, experience doing this, and then Trish, who was to be a huge biller herself, and I mean, she's been recruiting since she was 19. and has placed, a bazillion people as well. And she's been a kick-ass trainer for, I don't know, the last 20 years probably, or 15 years. But she's just smart as a tack and goes deep into everything from AI to word tracks to whatever. And it's kind of fun to hear the different views of, she's got a different style than I, so we disagree on a lot of stuff, but you pick what you like. And, she's, I'm a lot more direct. She likes to sugarcoat and soft coat and slow roll it. I'm like, fuck that. We're going for the jugular, and let's just get this shit done. But I deal with, high-end sales reps who get it, so you got to know your audience, right? But so if anyone wants info on that, let me know, or Dom know, it's a good class. It's a good Q&A class. You get some good experience, you get some good insight, and you get past recordings and stuff. But other than that, I think I forgot what the original question was now, but it was
our ADD.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a prerequisite for recruiting.
Yeah.
Well, I think, Max, what was your question? I don't even remember.
Just in terms of planning and I think the second question was just about making sure you do the prep and the debrief calls, because that's an opportunity to kind of show value.
Oh yeah.
Build more rapport. I don't know if you're doing that.
No, you have to. This was a big conversation this morning, actually. I was telling a client, I'm like, listen, there's no point of you using me if you're going to set up all the interviews. You're welcome to do it. Your client, but it's your funeral. All right. It's like, and it's really more the internal recruiters doing it. Like, I don't think I'll take a job on anymore that has the internal recruiter fucking up my interviews, pardon the French. Because if their stupid automated emails are useless. They're annoying. They turn everyone off. You're not kept in the loop. And even if you are, it's after the fact, and it's extra work for me to go put it in my database, which I don't have time for. So you're paying me all, and this is the conversation I have with the VP, the CEO. I'm like, listen, you guys are paying me a ton of money to attract the right people for you. When your guys are selling your deals, do you have your gatekeeper also set up the meetings with their gatekeeper, or do you guys actually do like a real sale and have your VP who's trying to, or your rep, sell the deal, talk to the buyer? Or you say, no, let me get my people on it. I'm like, of course you don't do it. So why would you want your gatekeepers, handling this garbage? And it's a short way of a dead deal. It's like, you feel, I don't know about you guys, I feel totally lost if I'm not having those touch points with a reason. I'm like, and then I tell these hiring managers, I'm like, listen, when picture yourself interviewing, I got you on an interview right now. And I'm like, I call you up. I'm like, hey, Dom, when's your interview? I go, what kind of idiot do I look like?
Right.
How does that make you as my clients? So, you got to just have a few onions and, put it on the table for these clients and let them know. It's like, listen, I'm here to help you, but don't, you're making it harder on yourself by doing X, Y, and Z. And I get it's going to piss off the internal recruiters, and I will CC them on everything. You want to partner with them on everything you can do, but it's like, you're paying me to do it. Let me do it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I don't know. I feel when I don't have those touch points, I feel like I'm pretty useless in the process. You're not building further rapport. You're no longer a trusted resource to the candidate. So he's not going to start telling you dark and deep secrets, and he's certainly not going to tell you if he's interested in this or other things, as readily as he may have before, with a lot more freedom. And you could tell your client, say, listen, I've tracked the stat, like 89% of the time, or whatever, 93% of the time, when the internal recruiters work these deals, these candidates hem and haw, and it just doesn't go our way, or whatever number, that you can tell the CEO, and so he gets scared to actually do it the right way, which is to let us do it. Our money is dependent on it,
Yeah. But for any new recruiters, you see how he delivers that? Consultative and not scared to push back on the client. You have to.
100%. The more, I've been saying this for years and years and years. The sooner you can walk away from money, the more money you're going to make. And when you are afraid to lose a client, you've already lost the client. Yeah. So you're better off being productive, busy. Find a better client. It's like when you're dating a guy, girl, and you just know you're just in this dead end relationship, you're just miserable. It sucks the life out of you. Clients are the same way for me. If it's a dead end client, then just cut them,
Yeah.
or raise your rate so they drop you. Either way,
Yeah.
ask for a retainer. It's because you'll be surprised if you ask for more money. Sometimes they'll just give it to you because they don't want to find another recruiter. They don't want to go through all the headache of explaining the project again. So,
Yeah.
Rich, I'm curious. Sorry, I'm asking so many questions. What's your usual timeline and process from going from like let's say a cold call or an introduction or something, just newly working with a client, to a retainer search? Are you going directly first time to the retainer search, or is it?
I do it all one call. I'm a type A ADD. Let's just get it done. You have the pain or you don't have the pain. So I don't like the jerking around. If I'm going to cold call and I get you on the phone, you're like, I'm looking for this, these kinds of individuals. Great. Oh yeah, we can help you. I mean, this is how, we go through the discovery call, and then, on that call, I tell them, this is how we work. I mean, if you're serious, it's a $10,000 engagement fee. If you're not serious, we throw you in the pile with the rest, and it's going to be a higher fee at like 30%. You whatever works for you. And
Yeah.
you just leave it out there. And what are these guys going to say? Oh, we're not serious. I mean, so
Yeah.
they give you the retainer more often than not. I mean, honestly, I've taken one search on this year that was not a retainer, and it was a donkey show, as I told the CRO it was going to be. I'm like, standard. I'm like, all the reasons I generally don't do in contingent that much anymore is exactly what these guys did. But we had a couple guys on the desk, so
I feel like it's like impossible to run an independent shop doing contingent searches, right? Because you're always going to run into competition, and
I mean, listen, I'm a solo. I don't even have an ad right now. You can do what you want to do. It's just the time you want to put into it. The contingent engaged, I do more engaged than full retainer because I don't want the headache of a lot of paperwork. So the end of the day, you can totally do a contingent search firm on your own, but you got to be quick. And contingent searches right now they're tough, man. They're these clients they're here today, gone tomorrow. They don't care.
Yeah.
So you just got the biggest challenge is finding companies to work with, and then being able to decipher and determine are these guys good or bad, and how are they going to be to work with. Like, I'd rather work on a 25% client or 25% fee with a great client than a 30% fee with a guy that's going to drag his feet and is a pain in the butt and doesn't want to give you feedback. Maybe a bigger fee if you close it, but the chance of closing it is so much lower.
Right.
So
Playing percentages.
yeah. But no, all good questions, man. I mean, it's the whole business is down. It comes down to how do you spend your time, and who do you spend it with? And if you don't like I have a big theory of if the client's going to treat you, how they're going to treat the guys you're going to place there. And if he's an ass to you, he's going to be an ass to them, and that's not really building the rapport and the message in the market you want about yourself. Because
Rich, have you ever gotten to a company that was on your target list that you're like, God, I'd love to have this company, and then get on the phone with them and realize, hey, I just got to walk away?
Oh yeah. I ended up in a lawsuit with one actually. It turned out the CEO was this insane lady who literally ended up. I placed like 4 or 5 people with her actually, and then she ended up. She fired this guy who was an retired Army Ranger. She fired the guy 29 days in, a 30-day agreement, of course, because his mother died. And then, I found out this when I sued her. I went to talk to other people I used to work for. Turns out she fired other people and they got cancer. And then this lovely lady got knocked up by the CTO, even though she was married, not to the CTO. And she was a real princess. But I was like, we took it all the way. It just had pure spite because she was such an asshole. We took it all the way to the day before it was supposed to go to court. Just purely.
What about even before you even signed the agreement? You got on the call and said, you know what, this ain't for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the time. Again, you got to have your standards, Like, I think people run their recruiting firm like it's a charity, and you should be thankful for the work. And I'm like, no, they should be thankful you're working on their stuff. You know,
Spot on.
I mean, I mean, that's everyone's. Oh my God, I don't have any jobs. I'm like, you don't need the job that you don't really want. And if you do, if you take it on contingent, great. You throw it in the pile, you throw it into a split network. So maybe someone's got someone sitting on their desk, and you don't spend a lot of time on it. You do a split on the fee, great, and then you move on. Keep looking for the next better search. But yeah, no, but I've had definitely had clients I wanted to get into, I got into, and I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. And just like, listen, either it's not for me, or like I said, you kind of charge the kind of the a-hole tax, and what would have been a 25% fee is a 35% fee. If they say yes, fantastic. All right, I can deal with a little extra pain, and and then you can always drop them, later on if you want. But
yeah. And I know some of you guys are probably not in that position where you're probably if you're in the beginning, you might want to take on whatever. But like when you get to that level, listen to what Rich is saying.
Yeah, but I'm telling you guys, the sooner you get to that level, the sooner you're there at the level they want. I mean, I closed when I first started this job. I was 23, and I closed 2 days of my first 10 days in the job. Made 40 grand. Thought this was awesome, right? Best thing ever. And I learned right then and there, difference between a good client and a bad client, because I had other companies that I had picked up quickly, and I could just tell really quickly that these guys were dragging their feet, and all now they're just classic signs. And when I kind of made those two deals and then started to reflect on this versus other ones that were taking longer, those were exceptionally fast. But it was a very telltale point. So even now, even if you need or want these clients, just be careful what you take on, because not only is it your reputation when you work for a company that's just a dog pile in the industry, you got to explain to every candidate why you took this garbage search on, and that what they're fixing and what you're trying to change, because next time you call that guy, they're not taking the call, because like, oh, that guy works on garbage, opposed to these really enlightened selling opportunities. And that's the ones you want, and that's how you get people to return your calls and your emails with that consistent quality on both sides of the desk.
Love it. Anyone else?
I have a question. Rich, very nice to meet you. Actually recruit in your space, and I'm New Hampshire.
Awesome. There you go.
Renee's great, Rich. She's great.
I love it.
I'm curious what your tech stack and ATS and everything is that you use.
Yeah, I use Crelate. I'm a big techie guy, but I also at the same time I would tell you most tech is utterly useless. I use Crelate. I use this tool. It's kind of new called Pin, which if you use my name, they'll give you a discount.
What is it called?
PIN.com. It's a really cool way to source candidates, and you can do an automated email campaign through them as well. The AI written personalized campaigns, which you can train their AI, because their AI is getting better and better, but you can train it with your own emails as well. I use, Bounty is a really good tool as well. And these are, I get pennies for these things, people. These are not like ads for them. So, but Bounty is another really good, Bounti. It's a great tool to create your value prop. And then when you're reaching into a company, it does ongoing research for you, and will tell you, hey, check out, let's say you put a company in there, does the research, tells you what, why they need you, why they should use you. So you have the talking points right in front of you. And then you can actually it tells you even who to email and what have you from there.
Wow. How have I never heard about that?
I don't know. That one's a pretty sweet one. They just came out, actually. They just came out over the summer. That one's a really cool one. What else?
What was the name of that again, Rich?
Bounty, Bounti.
.ai.
.ai, I believe. But those are cool ones. What other tech that I use that's actually of value? I mean, a million different, contact finders, which they're all the same garbage. What else? If you got an admin, OneTab's a really cool tool where you can just quickly build lists, and then you just send them one link. It will show all the other like LinkedIn profiles you want them to go into your database. That one's a cool one and a freebie. There's actually a cool tool I just started playing with yesterday called browser.ai.
Yeah.
You see that one?
Oh yeah, that one's great.
That one is pretty slick, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that one's pretty slick. You know, I've just kind of touched upon Clay just because it's overly. I found that I just didn't have time to set it up. But Clay's got actually a meetup next week in Boston, Renee. I'm going to go to this. I'm going to actually go to it March 5th, Wednesday night.
Oh.
So, no idea.
You need to know anything about Clay, Tobias, and I got another guy out of Italy that could literally. So you get to learn all that shit. You're better off just having these guys do it.
Exactly. I had an admin like a couple months ago, and it's pretty slick. But it definitely takes some time to set up and some patience, I think. But they're supposedly making it easier. What else do I use? I mean, that's really it. I mean, I literally look at every tool under the sun. I love looking at these things. Most of them just aren't worth the time. Most of them are other list builders that it's just LinkedIn in a different color. And they bring you back to LinkedIn anyway.
Do you use LinkedIn Recruiter?
No, I've actually never paid for LinkedIn Recruiter.
Wow.
I have Sales Nav, which I'm grandfathered. I think I pay like $600 a year for. So, you know, but I'm maxed out on LinkedIn connections, so I end up having to delete people. So I'm so tied in that it doesn't really add a lot of value, because now I think it was with Pin. It was what other tool was it? With Pin, I think Jobin.cloud's another good tool. It's not the prettiest looking tool yet, but if they ever fix their interface, it's going to be a killer solution. There you can even search for people that have like open to work if you wanted to hit the turds that have already been hit over by every stupid recruiter under the sun. So some people like it.
We talk about that one a lot on the Friday recruiting call with Tom Alessio, if you guys don't know him.
Yeah, Jobin's a good tool. The people there are so nice too.
Yeah, very nice people.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling Miko there, or whatever, Miko in Italy. I was like, dude, I'm like, you got to help me out. I need a way to bulk delete people from LinkedIn. And within 4 hours, the guy he put it on the site there, and I would deleting anyone I ever put in from like Russia and China, whoever just came into my LinkedIn over the years, and big lifesaver.
You know what else you could do, Rich? You could add another Tobias. You could put a profile on LinkedIn. What was that thing where you buy the verified profiles?
You can rent out profiles and do outreach from there. So it's like relatively cheap. You can set it up for like $200 USD, $250 USD a month per profile. That's ID verified with LinkedIn Sales Navigator with an automation tool in that $250, right? And you can literally just do outreach on LinkedIn from branded accounts that look like they're in your company.
Really? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah.
So so you basically bought someone else's old account?
We're renting them, so you can't. It's ID verified, so we get their ID printed out.
Yeah.
So we have it in an encrypted file, right? And we're able to then, when LinkedIn asks for the ID, we can just scan it, and
I pay $30,000 a month for mine. It's my wife's seat, and then that's about what she milked me for every month. So, but I have her account on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
that is killer. Interesting. That's a good idea. Yeah, I'll have to try it.
Rich, because you could have that and have it going with, because I know you're maxed out. You could have multiple campaigns going with Jobin or Dripify, whatever you're using.
Yeah, I had a second account for a while, and they eventually caught up to me. So LinkedIn,
there's just a huge difference between a non-ID verified and ID verified on LinkedIn, right? So
what is
especially now?
Why? What's the difference? Just how much they allow you to look up and stuff, or what's the difference?
Significantly like large difference in the range that you can do, right? Like they are known for banning accounts that are not ID verified. Some people kind of they want as much data as possible on you, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right. So they have a very strict banning system on people who don't have it verified. So on Trustpilot, on all these review websites, they have 1 star LinkedIn, right? Because they just ban people who don't want to give up their ID, which is kind of funny. Which gives you a lot of leverage if you're able to get 50 or 20 ID verified profiles, and then you can certainly do, 30 messages a day per profile every single day of the week from like an ID verified profile that is fully optimized, has the company that has full experience, works at your company, has all the back end right set up. It's a really effective way of, if you at least have the budget for it, right? Like you need an
Or you could,
app.
he has the budget. He could just
Well,
put Rich Rosen's assistant.
Do you find you get a better response from LinkedIn, like messaging?
30%.
How much? 30?
30. Our top campaigns I've done was 54% on 500 leads.
Wow.
We on average, right? So it depends on the ICP, depends on the quality of the profile, depends on 50 variables, right? Usually the bottom line for a campaign on LinkedIn is 15% reply rate. The top line for, right, if you're running it from my own account, right, if you're running it from just a, a decent profile, right, that's kind of optimized, is about 20 to 30% reply rate. We did one for Dominic for the manifest campaign, right, reaching all the speakers, right? So 200, yeah. Right, so I built that with Dom. You can see 34.6% reply rate on this campaign. So
was that? I assume that was a candidate campaign, not a client campaign. Then.
No, this was for all the speakers that were speaking at that manifest conference, supply chain, all the C-suites. So I scraped them all, and the way I went about that one, Rich, is was like, hey, I'm interested in hearing you speak on the panel. Love to get together with you after, something short and sweet. And my reply rate was amazing. Not to mention I had so many meetings with them and still have all these follow-up calls, like literally probably 20 more to do this week.
Well, that's what those conferences are gold. Like even just list. It's one of those things that I personally want to hire a new admin just to help build those lists out personally, because it definitely takes some time to get them all in there.
Tobias does all that. He does all mine. He's the best.
Yeah, I'm
Tobias, you're gonna have
He's my little 18-year-old whiz kid out of Denmark, 160 IQ.
That's I thought my daughter was just in Copenhagen last week. Loved it.
Oh, that's
Tobias, what stage in that sequence are you usually getting to that 50%? It's not the first one, right?
No, most of the price is on the second message. So we have, again, it depends on ICP, depends on which manufacturer, so I can't really, but overall, right, the acceptance rate, so the first message that we send out usually has about 50% acceptance rate. Highest I've seen is 95, but usually around 50 to 70% acceptance rate on the connection message. The actual reply comes usually in the form on the second message, because that's where you have your kind of value proposition or what your goal is of the message, right? It's whether it's getting on a call or whatever you're.
Would you guys be willing to share the language on that particular one that you talked about?
Yeah, we don't ever selling.
Yeah.
Never sell on these ever.
What's that?
Never sell
on the messaging.
Never. That's the easiest way to, one, get your account suspended.
Wait, never what?
Sell.
Never sell on your first message.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah. What I usually do is I never sell at all in the messages. Right, that's my own philosophy. You can definitely sell in messages, but it's, if you really want the highest engagement rate, if you could say, per lead list, you don't sell in the actual message. You sell on your profile. So when they go and check out your profile, right, we have like 8 touch points on them. So when they just go through and view your profile, right, that's where you have all the proof of work. That's all your testimonials, all that entire back end of like, what you're doing. This is my primary offer. I do it for this ICP. and
Yeah.
and that worked really well.
I
And
put the
you-
messaging in the chat. You can tell Tobias wrote it because I don't even know what a kin means. Too smart. Like that's too smart for me. I would have just been like, hey, what time are you speaking? See you there. But this campaign worked. It got me what? 43.5%, 34.6% response rate.
And
Yeah.
then tell me again where you scraped it. It was just a list on the manifest
Sales.
website.
Yeah, we
So here I'll show you.
yeah we took a scraper, went through all the speakers, and then we used Clay to find the LinkedIn URL of the profiles.
So I went here. I went to all the speakers, and then I boom took all these speakers. I mean, look at the people we're talking about: CEO, DHL, COO, New Balance, Nordstrom, Verizon.
And that was, I just
Without
technical. What scraper do you use? Is it some like AI tool that?
no,
My Clay guy scraped this one.
I can send you the thing we used for this specifically. I'm gonna send a link to the Chrome extension in one
But
second.
that's also my point is like, I don't have time to go and learn all this stuff and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to, but it's like, I rather just,
Tobias, you got any friends?
boom, here you go.
Boom.
You got any friends we can talk to?
Yeah, we actually are, we have a new company coming out. I'll put it in the chat. Lock.ai.
The website is still in progress, by the way, so keep that in mind. But yeah, it's we're launching very soon.
Awesome, guys. Awesome. Hey, I got to run, guys, but good to see y'all. Dom, we'll talk about
Thanks
it
again, Rich. You're the best, buddy. Thanks for stopping in.
anytime. Talk to you later.
Back
Ciao.
to you.
You guys.
Bye.
And he has that Thursday Q&A session if anybody wants to join it.
I have to leave
He's
as
a
well.
Rich is a beast.
Yeah.
Renee, you got to connect with him in Boston.
Yeah, I need to get down there. I'm an hour north and I'm an ogre. I got to get out of the house.
Yeah. Trust me when I tell you. Like, I mean, look him up. I mean, just Google him.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I definitely want to hook up. That's for sure.
Yeah. We stayed on the phone for 2 hours. Like, you know, guys like that are willing to share their knowledge and pass it on to Dean. But like, they'll only do that if you want it, right? Like,
Yeah.
Rich, I want to learn from you. Like, I want to learn whatever I can from you. Because how many, you know, he might not be around much longer, maybe 5, 10 more years.
Yeah.
He might retire. He's, you know, you know how much money that guy's made over the years?
Would you be, since I can't read, well, I could probably use my sales nav to reach out to him, but would you send a warm email intro for me to him?
Yeah.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Dom, I have a chess tourney in like 20 minutes. We can talk later tonight if you want to. Probably around.
This guy beat my ass in chess twice at the airport.
Yeah.
Bounce. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Brent,
did you have? Oh, sorry.
Just having like 5 hours, Dom, for a call.
Yeah. Well, I got an open house. I'm like, yeah, call me. I'll be able to walk out.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Talk soon. Bye.
All right. See ya.
Thanks, Tobias.
Brent, I think you were trying to ask a question.
You know what I was, but I kind of answered it myself. I was going to see of the 50 calls, what percentage are biz dev versus recruiting versus like interview prep.
Well, so I'll tell you because I asked him that too when I was like, because I spoke to him the other day. I talk to Rich all the time, but we were on a call for like 2 hours the other day, and I go like out of those 50, he goes, Dom, they're all biz dev calls. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, everybody I'm talking to, it's a potential biz dev opportunity. And I go, great point. You're right. You know, so it's like, I'm sure he's got like, if he's got a target list of, let's say 10 companies he's going after at that time, but then everybody he's talking to candidate wise, because he does a lot of high level sales roles in same as me, right? Software, but he's just general broad software sales where I'm supply chain logistics, supply chain tech. But he's just broad, like ERP. But that guy's been billing 7 figures plus on his own for 25, 30 years.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a killer. So that's like, I wanted to bring him on here for you guys to see, like, even and you can tell by his energy. Even to this day, he still gets on his laptop after the day, like he'll, eat dinner with the wife or whatever, 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, back on the laptop, typing away. And then that's when he'll send out his emails, prep for, the next day, get his call list ready to go, like true professional, just ready to go. So I'm glad he was able to join today because I really wanted you guys to see him because this is a great group. Everybody helped each other, but he is a stone cold killer. But do you see how he handles his clients? Talking like that to the C-suites? Most people, and I know when you're new, it's hard to, think like that and talk like that, but you start making money, it comes with confidence and,
Sure. Yeah, you know what? He said he's using Pin. I looked at Pin.
I've never heard of it, Ted. Is it good?
Pin is, I thought it was nothing better than, I thought it was slightly better than Loxo's sourcing.
Is it pin.com?
Yeah, Pin.com. And what it does is it's just straight email. I think that Jobin is better with Jobin, how you can ping them first on LinkedIn and then email or whatever.
Yeah. Well, he said Jobin too. He said Clay, Jobin, Bounty, Sales Nav.
How much you guys paying for Jobin?
I don't use Jobin because I have Loxo Source plus LinkedIn Recruiter plus Ripify.
Yeah,
plus,
I'm paying for Clay and Lemlist, and I'm paying $350 a month, so it's pretty.
Damn.
You know what I found this?
Bucks for Jobin, and I've got Jobin's great because you can get all the contact info, but then it has you can customize it. You don't have to pay for the whole package, but it's like $150 if you want all of the features. I think it's a pretty good deal, honestly.
Such a great tool, but how bad is their UI UX?
Dude, it's horrible. It's such a steep learning curve.
I literally told the guy, I go, listen, dude, whoever designed this, I mean, let me come and redesign this because this is awful. Like, look at this.
But so Dom, you're using it? You use it?
I'm not. Like, I was just doing the free right now just to see. I have way too many tools, man. It's like you get cut up.
2008.
What guys?
Yeah, like
What tools are you using for email campaigns? Like Talon?
email instantly.
Yeah.
Smartly.
I use Clay and Lemlist because I think Lemlist is the only thing where, Clay you can automatically push to Lemlist and it does LinkedIn and email automation campaigns.
So, like, if you guys ever try to get a list of let's say you want a list of like 1,000 contacts in a certain niche that you're targeting, instead of going and buying all these tools, you can go and just pay these guys, like this guy I know, just pay for the list.
Yeah,
And
that's
he'll
what
give you the verified list. And so
Yeah.
you have to learn how to use,
I go to Upwork and I got a guy in Bangladesh, and every Monday I get a list in my inbox of like the 100 people I should reach out to that week. And to start, I had to curate the list for him, and then he eventually was just like, "You don't have to keep sending me who you want. Like, I get it. I know who your clients are." Titles.
You're saying if you're looking for finance folks, give me this, give me the CFO, give me the VP of HR.
Yep.
And then they know that hey, if I'm looking for, so I'm hiring for say a senior accounting manager, and I'm calling into a company that's got 25 different controllers across the globe. If I run that's a problem I run into now. If it's a 10,000 person company and I'm trying to hit up people for a senior accountant job, it's hey, give me a list of the controller. It's going to be giving me 25 people across the globe, and even in Chicago, that controller, they're
so Max, that's funny you said that. So I had Tobias do that for me with DSV, and I go, hey, fine. I was just testing him to see, and I go, you're not going to be able to know unless because there's freaking directors, there's VPs, but there's so many different divisions. So it's you got to get on those ones. Sometimes the bigger companies aren't even the best to work with, even though they are a good client for me.
Well, then
but I work with a very specific group. Yeah. I would just say, hey, based on these size companies, these are the, you can do the filters on LinkedIn, 25 to 500 or whatever, and 500 to 1,000. Target these titles.
It's a lot of effort.
Yes. Well, you could just throw it in ChatGPT and say,
And
hey,
then the other thing that I'm doing with Clay, which Dom, like, I think you turned me on to Clay, and now I'm like obsessed with it. So thank you. Like,
no
it is
problem.
like a fucking miracle tool. So the other
It
thing
is.
that I have it doing is it pulls every week. It pulls a list of everybody that left their job within the past month, and then it says like, okay, pull in their LinkedIn profile, show me where they were last. Were they in an accounting role? Was it a senior accountant, something like that? Yes. Okay. Go out and find 5 likely managers from that previous company. And then I set up an email campaign saying, hey, I saw so-and-so recently left.
Yeah, brilliant idea. You know what else you could do too?
You're like,
this
just
right
do
here.
job end? Does it do that
No.
automatically?
You can just go right here and you can go to like, give me a company that you're working with or something.
Aon.
And then let's go function, accounting, finance, apply. So then I just look at their talent flow, right? All right, where are people departing to? You can go to their talent flow right here. And then, okay, who they recently hire, where did they hire them from? And then where did they depart to? So since I have LinkedIn Recruiter, I can actually see these candidates. So then when I'm going into a client call, I'm going in there like, okay, why is your attrition rate this? I see that you've lost this many people. We're losing your top talents going to this company, these companies right here. How do we stop that? Let's get these people retained and let's pull back from that. You know, so this is great right here. Like, actually, my cousin's the VP at this company. If you need a connection here,
Really?
yeah,
I think they got a pretty good Chicago presence.
they're huge. Marsh McLennan, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a CFO you can use right now to break in to any companies.
We don't have a lot of CFO searches. Like that's something that I gotta like start considering is like how I'm gonna move into the.
Oh, you could take him and use him as an MPC. This guy's a stud. MIT freaking.
I need a CFO in Vegas for a company. You should send me his info.
You need a CFO right now?
Yeah.
This guy's based out of Dallas, but he's a stud.
We might need someone to move to Vegas, but it's for a jet share company. So if you want to send me his info, the owner's flying in for the Penguins game next week. So
nice.
We have a chat with him about who he's going to hire.
But don't forget about this tool right here, LinkedIn Talent Insights.
How did you get to that again? You showed me.
So if you go to LinkedIn right here, just go talent. So for business.
Okay.
Do you have this?
Yeah.
Is it showing you? Yeah. A lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people don't even know about this or use it. It's so easy to go in there and pull data, and the company's wow, this guy knows a lot more about my company than I do. You know? But that's what you're going in there consulting on them. And then I get people like this right here, intros all day, nonstop. I can't believe that Rich doesn't use LinkedIn Recruiter. I mean, I'm gonna stop paying for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's $1,000 a month that I feel like is not worth it for me.
Is that how much they're charging you?
GPT?
Well, I get the job slots and LinkedIn Recruiter for $9.80 a month. So I have 3 job slots and can't remember how many messages, but yeah, lots.
Well, for me, it's been worth it because the ROI is there, right? But if all these guys are getting away with some of these other tools that are coming up with Sales Nav, well, I don't know. I'm just so used to doing it with LinkedIn recruiters now. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the placements I've made are through LinkedIn Recruiter throughout. I mean, just in the couple of years I've been recruiting, but yeah, like Rich and other folks, like Ernie doesn't use it. A lot of other dudes don't use it.
Tom Alessio doesn't use it.
I've been using People GPT before I go to Recruiter.
People GPT.
Yeah,
What about have you guys ever used Juicebox at all?
that's the same thing.
It's the
They're
same.
like the
Is it?
owners of People GPT. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wondering because I saw Brianna Rooney post about it. Amina. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I never really used that one.
You go on
That's the problem. There's so
to
many.
you go onto YouTube and put in like People GPT demo. One of the founders is doing like a demo with a group, I think in Australia, and it's like 40 minutes, and it'll blow your mind like how the product works. You can because you're literally getting a free demo from him, and you can just kind of
Yeah,
watch him go through and put in all the like Boolean search. And I've been doing it right now for the CFO role I'm filling, and it's like insane. And the like it does connect you back to LinkedIn quite a lot, but like you can pull up people's profiles, X accounts, YouTube pages. Like it's insane how much information you can get.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's it called? Um, hey, Luke, I didn't even see you there.
Hey
Hey,
guys,
Devin.
just been
You guys
absorbing.
pop on
This
and
has been
out,
awesome.
or
Hey, I've been here. I've just been silent. I've just been on mute learning. That's all.
well, today was a good one for you guys to learn.
Absolutely.
Rich is a beast, absolute beast.
Buck, I'm with you though with the LinkedIn, man. It's costing me too much. And I asked, I think we've talked about him before, Harry, on Ben Mina's like to start the year. I was like, do you think that you could just replace LinkedIn with some of these tools? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And it's at least half the price. I mean, I think I'm 700. I don't do the job postings anymore. I'm at 700 a month with LinkedIn. And this juice box and Clay, I think I could get for like 350. Do the same thing, pull the same results.
On the recruiting side, I get way better traction with the connection messages than I ever do with like
Emails.
anything
Yeah.
like that.
The thing you got to be careful with there is like LinkedIn max out how many you can do, right? So after being in this for so long, you're going to end up running out of connection requests.
Oh, yeah.
I
think like you're saying just in general, like once your network hits a certain amount.
Isn't it like 30,000 or something?
Yeah, and then you can just like mass disconnect with people or mass rescind.
Yeah, Rich said that you could do that with Java, and they can take out like. Because I mean, think about how long that would take to go through all your connections. Like some people I just automatically connect with, like that I probably don't even want on my network, right? Like I'm gonna go through and clean that up one day slowly. Just get rid of people. Because when you get to 30,000, you're screwed. You can't connect with anyone else. So I wonder how they do that. That's a good question.
I think you can mass disconnect.
Yeah, but what about the people that don't know? Like Brianna Rooney from CS Recruiting. She's in MySpace. I don't think I should probably tell her. Actually, I don't want to because she's a direct competitor. But she'd be like, Brianna, you can get rid of. She's out of Chicago, Max.
Brianna is.
Yeah.
So there is a way to get cheaper LinkedIn seats. You have to kind of form a group of recruiting agencies, and then one person kind of goes to LinkedIn with like, hey, we need 20 LinkedIn recruiter seats, and then they'll give you a bulk discount. So it's kind of like a Costco deal. We did it.
Yeah, because anything 11 or more is you get a discount.
Yeah, we did it at my old firm where we got 30 seats, and I think it ended up being roughly 4,000 a year for the seats.
This is what I was thinking for this kind of group. Like, what if we all pitched in on one of the best Zoom info packages? And then, like, everybody, like, okay, we'll have like a Google Sheet drive, and like, all right, Andy's got it for these 2 hours, Dom's got it for these 2 hours, Luke's got it for these 2 hours. Because, or you could do this. You can go on some of these LinkedIn, Facebook groups. I think I was telling you this, Devin. You go on these Facebook groups, and people that bought all these seats and then their business is struggling right now, they'll sell you their Zoom info seat for like $1,000 right now.
Yeah, You know what I'm
If
doing for
anyone
Zoom
wants a
info?
LinkedIn recruiter seat to lease, my old boss has like 6 that are sitting empty. So I lease one from him like every quarter. It's like $500. And I know he would just be interested in getting rid of some of them. So I think he's got another 2 years. But if anyone's interested, DM me or like ping me on LinkedIn, and I'll make a introduction.
If for Zoom info, you can go on. I'm doing this right now. You know, Fiverr, or what is the other one?
Upwork. Yeah.
Upwork. Go on Upwork, and in the filter, like the search thing, put in Zoom info, and you'll get 20 people in Pakistan that have a Zoom info license, and then they will just, you can say, hey, I want these 5 org charts.
So on Fiverr, Zoom info, just put Zoom info.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
5 or 6 years ago, I used to have a guy doing that, and he would build the mail merges for me. So I would go every morning, and I could fire off my morning like marketing messages.
I wonder how they get these, because they probably
They all
hack them.
share a Zoom info seat, just like Brent said.
Now, I'm sure that there's somebody in Pakistan that has one Zoom info license, and he's just selling it to these various people.
Yeah.
I think I was paying like 5 to 15 cents per line, I think it was, and they just have a guy like overnight do it and send it back to me in the morning.
I just hired this company, $800 a month. We'll see how they do. They're gonna go out there and clean up my ATS, basically do market mapping. I said, all right, take this IT subway map. I want all the salespeople from each company on a list, cleaned up in my ATS, and then once a new job pops up, let's say it's WMS, supply chain tech, email triggers out to all those people. So this guy's $800. We'll see how he's doing. First day on the job, he did pretty good. The company's called Nexcellence. You ever heard of them?
No. Is it NEXELENT?
I'll put it in the chat. The only reason I went with these guys is because I get a million fucking RPO companies that reach out every day, all day.
Me too.
So I know somebody that uses them. Jay Bernard, if anybody knows him, out of Scottsdale.
Wait, somebody actually uses them?
Yeah, multiple people I know use them actually. He told me, he goes, Don, they account for 50% of my placements last year. I go, no fucking way.
Yeah, but is it actually the candidates that like interview?
That's
what
I'm trying to figure out what I still need to do with these guys.
I hear like in the tech space, the IT space, like IT folks, like a lot of people I talk to, they're like, I literally will have one person interview and then somebody different will show up to the job.
Yep. I've had that happen.
A lot of examples of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give him a month. If it sucks, I'll beat it. But I do need some help right now, bad.
Dude, I love this group and how you guys are all like down to like try different tools and just like.
That's why I wanted to start it, Max, just for that, like everybody helping each other. Like we're all in different space, even if we're in the same space. Who cares? Like I had a call with literally 4 of the top recruiters in supply chain logistics, and we're all now like we're gonna all put together a kind of like an ETS where it's a split network. We're very limited to who we let in. Just supply chain recruiters we know are killers, and that's it. Because we all have too many job orders. The problem we're having is moving some of these salespeople, because these salespeople make 500K, and them to come back to, the good thing is we all got good logo companies, right? Everybody's got the biggest logos you would want, so that some of these guys will move. But to start over,
how are you getting these top salespeople to make a move? It just seems like mind-boggling to me. Are they all doing guarantees, like first-year guarantees or something, or?
No, like that. So like I have, like I said, some of the best companies, the logos, like DSV Logistics is global powerhouse. It's one of the biggest logistics companies in the world. They just bought DB Schenker. Once that acquisition goes through, they will be the biggest in the world. So they got, so it's easy sell for me on the salespeople. It's like, look, now you get the buying power. You got amazing base salary. You got full benefits, gas card, all trap, everything. But you name it, they did it. Like you should see it. I almost told them I'll fucking take a job there. It's unbelievable what they get. I was literally just with the, oh, I on my LinkedIn like 2 days ago. I interviewed the VP of Americas. Great guy, great guy. See that's the thing with those big companies is they're so big. Like I work with 3 different divisions inside there. They don't even know each other. Like I go, Mike, do you know this guy Nick? He goes, no, never met him. I'm like, wow, I get it. It's like me asking my friends at GM, General Motors, do you know this person? No, General Motors is so fucking big.
Hey, Dom, I got a
Like,
question. You got
yeah,
a link for Rich's Thursday Q&A session?
no, but I'll ask him for it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask him too.
I think like Trisha charges for that group though. But that's why I want to bring him on here. I'm like, Rich, I'm not paying you. Come help these people in our group. We got a great group. Like I could just call him all the time and text him. He's just, but that guy's. You want to talk about a killer nonstop on the phone? That guy's on the phone nonstop.
He said I didn't get a good answer from him on what percentage of his calls are like previous placements. Like he's saying like, yeah, cold calling is great, but like I want to know like percentage wise, like how much is his previous clients or just like lost bills in the past or like people he didn't place. What about for you, Dom? What would you say that percentage breakdown is?
Um,
Like warm
it
versus like
depends
true
on like
cold.
so like it just depends on. So like I think this is probably how Rich would answer too. Because for me, it just depends on like okay, like today when I'm done with the day, I'll prep for tomorrow, right? Like who do I need to stay top of mind? Who have I not followed up with in a while? Maybe haven't gotten a text from them. Just pop it in like, hey, you ready for golf season? You know, something like that, just to stay top of mind with them. If I know they're a golfer, my notes we got, hey, how's your kid? You know, one of the guys I work with, the internal recruiter, a supply chain tech company. His son's name is Paulo. So is my son. So I'll text him. I'll be like, hey, how's Paulo doing? You know, just shit like
Yeah.
that. Small little things. You don't need to be like, hey, do you have any jobs I can fill? Um, and the only reason I'm saying that is I work with so many of the top salespeople, and I just see how they operate. And
Yeah.
I've been recording all their calls for 2 years now, 3 years, and just putting in notebook LLM and just training it. Like, what are we looking for every time we get a killer salesperson? Because they all have the same qualities. I don't care what space they're in. Like I went the other day to interview this guy at a car dealership. This buddy of mine. I see him at the gym every morning. And I'm like, see, there's no fucking difference selling cars, selling software. That all the qualities are the same. You know, soft skills, everything. Just killers dialed in, focused, determined, don't give a fuck about no. Um, just well, like Rich said, doing what others are not willing to do. Like this is the best job in the world. Like I think what we have. You get to connect with so many people from all over the world, country. Um, I could go to any state and call anybody. Yeah, like probably like you guys, right? Like you can go to any state, call you guys, be like, "Hey, Brent, I'm in town. You want to go out to lunch?" You know, just like you guys can call me, whatever. But like now add that with your candidates over 15 years of recruiting and clients. But it's like, how do you stay on top of those? I think for Mac, my answer to that would be fastest to the money. What's the fastest to the money? You know, if that makes sense. So what would that mean? Okay. Right now I'm slammed with job orders, but you never want to take your foot off the gas. So most of it's on candidate side right now. But you know, I'm always doing business development. Like yesterday I was at that event I was telling you about. Sponsored. Show you. Sponsored the event. That's the VP of Americas at DSV. Then that same day I went out to lunch with this guy, 35 years in recruiting, just retired, 52 years old, sold his recruiting firm. Just always networking, connecting, going out to lunches.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know how many people ask me like, "Hey, why don't you come work here?" I'm like, how much would you give me?
All right, I gotta hop off.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Hey, Max.
Yeah.
I'm glad Clay's working out, man.
Good chatting. Yeah, do you know it'd be
Yeah.
good to
Oh,
have
Brad,
somebody that does
so
clay, like freelance with clay?
I have him.
Yeah. How much are those guys? How much do they cost you?
See, here's how I work, Brad. I always get them to do it for free for me, and then I'll say, I'll connect you to my network, you know, but you got to do mine for free. So I never pay for any of this shit. Like even Tobias, Harry, Latos. Like I didn't pay for Harry, I didn't pay for Tobias. But you know what? Like, for Tobias, I brought him out to Vegas, right? Brought him out to Vegas, and he's a shy intro, like doesn't talk. I'm telling him, no, go start talking to people. Everyone, go talk to every booth, talk to anyone and everyone. He did. And then he bought me my favorite cologne from Dublin, Ireland. He brought it in. It's this company called Le Labo. Yeah, I want to. And you know what? I paid for his room. Um, so like, you know, if people take care of you, I'll take care of you. It's always just taking care of people, right?
See, that guy must have been loving it going to Vegas. I'm sure that was his
Oh,
first time if he's from Denmark.
he loved it. He not to mention he's like, Dom, you fucking know everyone. I go, yeah, well, I make it a point to. So like this is the cologne he bought me. Like I don't even so he Facebook stalked my profile, found out that cause I'm a cologne fanatic freak. This one's like perfumes. And they formulate it inside the place. He brought it to me with my name on it. And I'm like, wow, what a great guy. But I'm like, you stalked my site. How did you even know that I know about Le Labo?
Yeah, he should be in sales.
Well, I'm teaching him to, because we're starting that AI. Do you see it in the chat there?
Dude, the whatever he's doing on N8N was like so far beyond what I was
Dude.
like, oh my god, a like sub agent, and then I'm like, yeah.
Buck, you see what I mean? That's why it's not worth fucking learning. It's just
Yeah,
find somebody like that, like in these groups. Like so, like that's how I'll go on the Clay Slack channel. I'll start fucking networking with all these people, and I'm like, okay, you're really good at this. Okay, do mine, and then I'll connect you. So I got this guy from Italy doing mine for free. Like he scripted the manifest list, and then he gave it to Tobias, and then so they're doing all that shit for me. Well, I just go on my day.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, I mean, like I just have been wasting so much time on it, and I should like I've done no business development this past week, just been delving into AI, and like, yeah, you're right.
Well, see, listen, I'm always looking at it and just keeping an eye out, just get an idea of what I can do, start thinking about it. But then I'm like, okay, that's too over my head. Like I'm not trying to learn all that. I'll give it to some genius kid. Like Tobias is 160 IQ. The kid is so like you should have seen him when we were in the room. He's got these dots that he hit for the manifest that this guy's connected to this guy through this, and I'm like, dude, let me just go and talk to people. Like you do all that, set it all up for me. I'll just go and talk.
Yeah, he's overthinking it, but hey.
Well, he's gonna be a billionaire one day, that kid. I'm telling you right now.
I gotta hop. This is a really good talk today, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for grabbing
Thanks for coming. See you, bud.
Talk to you soon.
I need to hop off as well. Thanks for the great meeting.
See you, Brent. I gotta
Look
send you
out,
that
y'all.
book still, man. I fucking was sick all week.
Hey, I know that you're busy. No worries. All right. Take
You
care.
too, Devin.
See you, Brent.
What's going on, Zach? Zach's not, he left. Luke, how you doing?
Yeah, week's been good so far, man. It's got my first client signed on Monday, first
Nice.
candidates submitted yesterday, and they get the first interview going tomorrow. So it's been
That's
good.
quick.
So yeah, it's not bad. It's
Heck
not
yeah.
bad. So it was just basically been tapping into my own network just to kind of start, and found a guy I used to work with, caught him at the right time. He's at Meta right now, and he's looking for a change because it's getting a little too cutthroat there. And the message just resonated with him. So he's got, we're like they've already had a few candidates kind of mid process, so they want this guy in quick. And who knows if he signs next week, that'll give it a a week and a half contract placement if it goes through. But so
Beautiful.
trying to bring up a few more for them quickly too. So it's it's good.
I'll remind me on LinkedIn. Shoot me a message on LinkedIn. I'll connect you with my buddy at Meta. He's an
Oh
internal recruiter there,
yeah,
and he'll give you guys that are looking, to get out that he knows.
yeah.
He's the one that let me on CB Insights. It's a $250,000 seat that Meta has, and he just,
Yeah.
it's good to have good friends and good spots, right? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got recruiters everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best part is you never know like who
Never
who
know.
knows someone else, right? It's just like
Oh, it's just such a
um,
small world.
I was looking at like on LinkedIn where you can see like how many like second degree connections you have, and like it's insane of just like what your own network could just lead to because everyone else is just a message away. It's like millions, right? Of just like
Yeah,
um after your
right.
but yeah,
It's
it's
great.
been good so far.
Well, that's a good point that you just brought up because a lot of people are like, "Oh, I gotta go find new clients." Well, go through your first and second degree connections. I bet you if you go through those, start calling on those, there's something there, you know.
What was your
And
process, Luke? Because that was quick. Sorry, Dom. Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, go ahead. No, that was quick, Luke. That was
Yeah, that
awesome.
from like what last week's call, like you were like, oh, I'm just getting into this data, and then it was data, right? And then so what was it? Like, was it a did you have a target list, a company you called on, little successful chat from that, and then where was it?
No, this was the benefit of me kind of staying in my own niche was this guy reached out to see if I would want this job, and I just, flipped them and said, I've
There you
just
go.
started this new thing, but I can help you fill a position. And so, he booked a call, changed it a few times, so I finally hunted him down and got him on the phone. He didn't really want to sign a contract, but obviously I'm doing contingent right now, so basically made the pitch risk free. I
Yeah.
can do all this work. You don't have to pay me a dime until I find you someone great, and sign the contract the next day. And luckily, it was the right person that reached out. It was like VP of finance, so he can. I was already talking to the right person. I didn't have to kind of make my way through the ranks at all. So it's what it was one of those things that lucked out. I'm trying to milk it as best I can and turn it around pretty quickly. So
Well, great job on flipping it, man.
Yeah,
And
good job.
following up.
yeah, it's like I'm hopeful it'll work out because you guys probably get this a lot, right? Where they're like, oh, we've got people in the pipeline already, like we're I don't think we need like anything coming out, and then you get on a call and you realize they actually need a lot of help, and it's like I'm sure you guys get that all the time. So
All the time.
yeah, so because like at
They'll
first
say that.
he was like, I don't really need help with this, but let's chat. And turns out he needed all the help with exactly what like. So it was. It's just about getting them on the phone, and then they start kind of opening up, and it's been interesting so far. So that's where like all my effort is right now is just closing this thing out. And so I
It's
don't right now. I have no process. I'm just like LinkedIn is just it's killing me with the just being so unorganized, but it's just just trying to close this one down, get that first win, and then I can use that to just pitch everyone else afterwards, right? So
yeah. These fucking Canadians. Now I got Kale. Kale, I forgot to call you back yesterday. You're on mute. You're still on mute. Fucking tech guy over here can't even figure out his tech.
I'm on pins and needles waiting for Trump or you to call me back, bud.
You know what? When you're in the 51st state, I'll come and visit you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
What's up, buddy?
How's that hockey team looking there?
Shut up. You missed a great call though. You know Rich Rosen, right?
Yeah, I just know him through the
He was
interwebs. Close.
he was on today. Good guy.
Hale, you a fellow cuck there?
Yeah. I'm in Victoria on the West Coast, right? Where are
Yeah,
you?
he says he's a recruiter, but he's a full-time fucking fisherman.
Oh,
Isn't
I
that
was.
the goal of all this thing? Isn't that like what we're all getting towards?
Yeah, we gotta have goals. I told one of my you know Jeremy Jensen, Dom. I think I introduced you to him.
I know Jeremy.
I was somebody commented he's got some crypto scam impersonating him, and I'm like, hey man, you gotta go and get the yacht, man. You gotta be on the yacht by 2030. So,
Dude, crypto. There's a lot of scams going on. You see that guy? What was it? What country was it? The president.
Argentina,
Yeah.
Libra.
Yeah, that was it. You that told me about that?
I texted you about it. My video editor is from Argentina and stuff. So I'm like, you get any Libra coin? And he's like, no, I missed it.
Yeah, I missed the Trump one. I got the Maiani one though. But I put a lot into it. You know, I just go with the main ones because I know. Here's what I do know: when Jamie Dimon and BlackRock and all these other people, Larry Fink, were all saying that crypto's a scam, they're not buying it. Well, we're fucking buying it the whole time. So you know why, right? For the AI agents that are coming out, you can't. I'll send you this video to watch it because for me to explain it, you got to know about crypto and blockchain technology and why. So what I'm really looking at right now too is nuclear stocks and what goes behind that, like who works with them to get those going. Because nuclear plants are going to be huge to run all this quantum computing, right, Luke?
And it's the amount of energy it sucks up. It's crazy. Like
that's what I'm saying. So nuclear stocks is where it's going to be at.
Did you find that MQL guy, Dom?
I did.
Yeah.
He's working on it right now.
Nice.
I will let you guys know how that goes. If it works, man, if it works, we're all gonna make money. Because whoever's in our group here, and I'm just like, dude, who wants in? Here you go.
Start being like Storage Wars, auctioning off.
Well, because the more money that you have in, you let it keep compiling, you're making more money, right? This trade, boom, boom, boom. So it's like, dude, if you're gonna come in this group, you gotta leave it in there for at least a year and just fucking let it rip. And then we'll just pull it all out, or we can let it ride. Pull out some and then just let it ride. But like, I don't want to be like, hey, Cal, give me money, and Devin, give me money, and Luke, give me money, and then it fucking tanks and we lose. I want to make sure that I'll risk mine first to see, and then I'll let you guys know.
Hey, proof is in the pudding, as they say. I saw that $50 turn up real quick, so
yeah,
whatever, man. Whatever you're selling.
That was luck. Cal knows about that one.
Which one?
It's the one I turned to 50 and to 74.
Yeah. Jesus, dog. I don't got a stomach for it, man.
Dude, no, I don't even know what crypto's at right now. I've just been slammed.
Good. What, all supply chain, or you're doing everything
Yeah.
these days?
Yeah, supply chain. Well, then I got my buddies who are like, hey, can you help me find a controller for a construction company? And then another buddy wants a sales guy for a roofing company. I'm like, dude, you got to send me 10 grand for me to even fucking start doing this. I'm going to help you. I don't even want to do those roles. And you know what he did? Of course, he fucking sends a check. And I'm like, God, now I got to recruit on this, you fucking asshole. I don't want to help you. I do want to help him, but I don't want to do this type of role. I don't even know what to look for in a controller.
No, I mean, control is not too bad as long as you're in a big city. You're gonna do it, man.
$10,000. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you had to do that.
Luke, are you in Vancouver?
No, I'm in Waterloo near Toronto.
Waterloo.
If you know of Waterloo. So
Yeah.
Yeah, just 3 weeks into this now, so nice and
Oh
fresh.
Jesus.
No, he already got an agreement signed, and Canada interviewing.
Cool. What's that for? What's the role?
It's for like a data lead, so I'm in like data and analytics space, so data scientists, engineers, ML, AI kind of roles.
I've got a director. Yeah, I think he's a director of data science for a company.
Oh yeah.
He's looking to make a jump. So
See, that's why this group's right here. This is what this shit's for.
Yeah.
I want to shop him down south because Canadian peso's not quite as strong. So
yeah, he's looking for something a little better than what we got to offer here.
What's going on with the president or prime minister? I thought he stepped away, Trudeau, and then now he's still there.
They're holding the what do you call it? They're voting to replace him as the head of the party. Yeah, and then
do
they'll
you guys
probably
like him in Canada, or do you hate him? Most people I know say they hate this fucking guy.
Yeah, most hate him. Depends who you talk to.
Yeah. He went from like 65 to like 17 at his low, and now Trump's giving him a rebound because now everybody hates Trump. And Pierre, who was like going to replace him, was like, "Oh, I hate Trudeau, and then he resigned, and he's like, "Oh, everybody was trying to replace him. It's exactly like Trudeau." and then Trump comes in and he's like dropping these tariffs, and then he's like, "Oh, who should I say to hate?" And everybody forgot. So like Trudeau's looking pretty good just because Trump is kind of attacked Canada. So he'll get out.
There's been this like national pride coming on now, and just like it's
Yeah.
been kind of really interesting to see. But
So I don't know about his personal sentiment, but definitely like it screwed up the opposition parties. You know, it was like, you know, when Trump got hit with, "Oh, I'm going after Biden," and then Biden stepped down. It was the same kind of like, "Ooh, who am I throwing punches at?" Right? So
yeah. Well, you see how stupid politics is? They try to get us all to fight against each other, where we all would probably just get along, you know, but they got to put it in the media and fucking magnify it times 1,000. It's like, oh, you hate this person, so you got to be in this group. You got to be in this group. Like, listen, all I care about is making fucking money. So whoever can put it in there, let's make us money. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, you gotta tell them to stop talking about tariffs and
I know.
Finish the cuts. Finish the cuts and get Elon back on the ketamine somewhere else. Oh, was this live?
No, I think shit. How do I take my? No, who cares?
But just get it done. Get it done. Just like